Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Philly Cooking with Maurice. This is episode 5, and we're going to be doing a little things a little bit different this year. We're going to be doing a NFC East matchup preview episode, strictly on our solo YouTube episodes. So we're going to start with the big game to start the season: Thursday night football. Dallas Cowboys versus the Philadelphia Eagles in Philadelphia. We're going to be raising the Super Bowl banners. And it's only right for me to bring on Earl, our Cowboys co host, to talk about our matchup. Welcome, Earl.
Hey, thanks for having me on the Feeling Cooking episode.
That's right. That's right. No problem. And when we do the game in Dallas, I'll be on the barbershop talk. That's only fair. Only fair.
Yes, sir.
So I'm the home guy this week. Later on,
Yeah.
you'll have the home field. All right, so let's get into the matchup. Before I even do that, I mean there was huge news last week. Earl, you talked about it with Chat and Cheese on your
hmm
barbershop a couple days ago. After a couple days to really let it sink in, how do you feel now about the trade of Michael Parsons to the Dallas Cowboys? Because that does have a huge impact on the matchup itself.
Well, yeah, 100%. I definitely know some of the Cowboy players, they're feeling the effects of that trade and fans as well. It's a situation that really hit hard because of so much how talented Michael Parsons was for the Cowboys, but it also showed the details that the relationship between him and front office it got sour. And for it, they had to make a move the best way that they felt was fit for the team. And they ended up receiving 2 first round draft picks and defensive tackle Kenny Clark, where we definitely needed a premier one tech. And Micah goes to the Packers, where they pretty much got a young defense, especially with Walker there. And then you got Rashawn Gary, and that front is very potent front. So it looks like the Packers may have won the deal, but we got to see how Dallas plays out with the Kenny Clark situation and then having 2 first round picks the next 2 years. So, but
Yeah.
for me personally, I'm I'm to the point of we got a game on Thursday, but at the same time, I am feeling the effects that Micah he was a brother for this team, and I feel for the players as well. But also gotta allow them to walk and be like, hey, we got a game. Yeah, it's gonna hurt, but we're gonna see the brother week 4. So it's
Mm-hmm.
just getting through this matchup. But I definitely know it's still some heavy hearts right now. But
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I only can speak for myself.
Yeah. Okay. So with that said, yeah, we definitely got to see. We're gonna talk more about this on our next episode of 14 Rings. Uh, there's a lot going into that trade. We'll talk more, get more into it on that. But for right here, let's get into the matchup. You mentioned Micah in the defense, so I'm gonna start with the Eagles' offense.
Okay.
The pass rush, the Eagles' pass rush, excuse me, the Cowboys' pass rush is going to be affected, no doubt about it. Now, when Jerry Jones made this trade for Michael Parsons, he put a lot of emphasis on stopping the run, and I see where he's going with that. I see where he's going with that. I don't agree with it, but I see where he's going with that. First week you're going up against a 2,000-yard rusher and Saquon Barkley. You're going up against the elite offensive line of the Philadelphia Eagles. I get where he's going with that, but the matchup tells me that the Eagles are going to have a fairly easy job running the ball. Now, when I say easy, I don't mean he's going to rush for 250 yards. But what I'm saying is the offensive line is going to get their push on the defensive line. Even with your new acquisition, I truly believe that our offensive line can win that battle up front. That's been the case for many years, even with Micah. They found ways to, negate Micah's pass rush, even running at him. So Micah's not there anymore. So we're going to see how that offensive line and Saquon and Will Shipley and AJ Dillon really do go after that uh, defensive line and linebackers of the Dallas Cowboys. Now, going to passing offense. A.J. Brown was question mark all preseason, but he said himself he's ready to go. He's anxious to play week 1. So we're gonna be fully loaded on offense with
Wasn't
the
gonna miss that game.
no, he wasn't gonna say game. No way.
Mm-mm.
Yeah,
Nah.
and with the addition of John Michie, another season of Jahan Dotson, Dallas Goddard on basically a contract year, if you want to say that. Um, and Jalen Hurts coming back off a 3,200-yard passing season. The only issue I had with Jalen Hurts last season was his turnovers. Now, he was a kind of a turnover machine early to start early that season, but he's really cut down on it. And he ended the season with only 6 interceptions, which is really good because Jalen has always been really careful with the football. Sometimes too careful. I've talked about that last season as well. But the offensive weapons for the Eagles, especially on passing, looks really scary on paper. We're going to see who eats and who doesn't eat because that's usually always the case with the Philadelphia Eagles. AJ will eat one game, then Devontae will eat one game, Dallas will eat a game. We want to see. Hopefully, this season with a new offensive coordinator and Kevin Patullo, they share the wealth a little bit more. I'll say that. Now, when you're going up against the Cowboys secondary, and I know you're probably going to talk about this on the 14 months episode. No, they have Deron Bland. Now they paid him instead of Micah. We can talk about that another time. And Trayvon Diggs is questionable for the game, right? Or is he going to play?
We will see.
We'll see. Yeah, we'll see. You don't know yet. We're recording this episode on Monday. Happy Labor Day, everyone, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we'll see. We don't know yet. But even with both of those guys at corner, hooker, safety, all those guys, I still do like the matchup for the Birds. So before we get into that, I just want to hear what you got to say about that, Earl.
Oh no, you definitely got firepower on the offense side of the ball. Hey, that's what y'all had. Y'all defending Super Bowl champions. I get that. But also at the same time, is that you think it could be an easy win. I don't think that's going to be the case. I think it's all I can say, keep sleeping on Dallas, especially with the run game. Kenny Clark is definitely an upsize where it takes pressure off Mozzie, where he can learn from Kenny Clark. Same with Osa. My biggest problem is that they were trying to go under a finesse move, especially with not respecting the one tech. And all of a sudden now you get Kenny Clark and you're like, we want to stop the run. What's with the change of heart, Jerry? And anyway, with saying it, he's just saying it because of the other things that occurred with the Micah trade. While myself and then other Dallas Cowboy content creators, we've been preaching hashtag respect one tech. We've been speaking it all this offseason. So now we have Kenny Clark. We'll see how that plays out. Kenny Clark he was working off a bum foot last season, and I got a chance to watch some of his film. The guy is very seasoned as a defensive tackle, where just maybe that is probably a missing piece on what they need to do to stop the run. I believe my linebacker room is definitely improved compared to last season, where I think probably utilizing your running backs to think they can rip off some big gains. I don't think that's going to be the case in this one. I think this matchup is going to be way closer than people think. But also with the secondary, I have my questions and concerns with the secondary, especially with Diggs. Diggs has been doing everything in his power to get back on the field and taking care of his body the right way. I want to tip my hat off to him on that, because just him and the saga with Jerry and Steven over the medical team, it all could have been avoided. Maybe it was a boost to get Diggs where he needs to be. All I know, whenever Diggs get back on the field, that's a key missing piece, especially in the leader of the secondary. Deron Bland, he got his money. Yeah, that's great and all. Go out there and show the reason why you got your money. But also, I'm interested to see how Khalil Elam does. He definitely worked on improving his game, and I'm interested to see where he's going to play on the field. depending if Diggs decides to play or he doesn't, he's going to be playing an outside position right along with Bland, where the slot is a question. I know that we were able to re-sign Zion Childress to the practice squad and Kamon Hall, but you really have to see who can play that slot. Now, I know Wanye Thomas may or may not play in the safety position because we got Dono and Malik Hooker. I wouldn't mind throwing Wanye Thomas in the slot as well. I just know that with our corner room, I know when they're healthy, they're one of the best corner rooms in the league. And the linebacker room, we have Maurice Leafau, we have Kenneth Murray, we have Jack Sanborn, and we have Damone Clark. So it just depends their game plan. I know that they'll be ready, especially for Saquon and those boys. At the same time, it's a key matchup, and I believe this game is going to be closer than people think. So y'all keep on sleeping.
Okay, fair enough. Hey, let the games begin. That's what they say, right? Play it
Yeah.
on field. Play it on field. All right, so let's get into the defensive side. Let's turn the ball over a little bit.
Okay.
Defensively, we come back with a lot of youth. I'll put it to you that way.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, I'll say this. I fully have trust in Vic Fangio as a defensive coordinator. What he did last season, basically taking two rookie cornerbacks, both making them both Pro Bowlers, is remarkable in itself. Top 100 players. So I trust him. We come back. We lost a couple guys: Josh Sweat, Milton Williams, Slay, C.J. Gardner-Johnson. We lost some guys and replaced them with youth. Hopefully, they come out hungry week one. But at least in the Super Bowl, we saw what Jalen Hunt could do. We saw what Moro Jomo could do. They drafted Bakuba. They drafted Jahad Campbell, two studs who I think are going to make an impact rookie season. But week one, a lot of jitters. First game, regular season game. We're going to see how that plays out. Off the top of my head, all right, so when it comes to the defense, our defensive matchup against the Cowboys offense, I'm actually going to give the advantage to the Cowboys offense. I think with the addition of George Pickens, they have a legitimate wide receiver too. And we have some question marks, especially in our secondary. As of right now, as of this recording, it sounds like Adoree Jackson is going to be our cornerback too. I'm not the biggest fan of
Oh,
that. I'm not the biggest fan of that, but it is what it is. Next man up. It was between him, Ringo, and Bennett. Bennett hasn't had enough time. I do like what I see from Bennett in the preseason game he played, but he needs a little more time in the system. So hopefully, after a couple games, he shows up and becomes that starter. But right now, it's Adoree Jackson at safety. Excuse me, it's Reed Blankenship, and it looks like it's going to be Sidney Brown to start. Now, I'm not 100% positive on that, so
what's going
don't.
on with DeJean?
Well, DeJean's going to be the corner, and in base defense, for anybody out there that don't know, base defense is basically two corners, two safeties. But Cooper DeJean is going to be the safety in the base defense. But nickel, dime, all of that, he's still going to be the slot corner.
Okay, so you'll be in the slot.
Yeah. So right now, it's still up in the air who's going to be that second safety. I
Huh, that's
think
interesting.
it's got to be Makuba. I think Makuba's shown he can be a ball hawk. He's a good tackler. Maybe he just doesn't have enough time because of the injuries. So
Mhm.
we will see how that goes. That might be a little okey doke coming out of Philly going into the game. We will see once the clock starts on that one. I like Sidney Brown. I think he's okay, but they drafted Andrew Makuba in the second round for a reason. So
Okay.
yeah, so I fully expect at some point, if not game one, game two, or three, Andrew Makuba is the starting safety. With that said, our pass rush, Jalen Carter is one of the best in the league already. So I don't doubt that. Nolan Smith is going to be ready. Jordan Davis is going to be ready. we're going to get some pressure up the middle. Um, one of the Tylers is questionable for the game, right? Or is he going to be out?
For who again? I'm sorry.
The Cowboys offensive line. Is all
Guyton's
your
probably
offensive
not
line
playing.
healthy?
Guyton not ready yet. He's getting
Okay.
there, but not ready.
Okay. So they might have a backup on offensive line. We're going to see how that works out. But when you match up Dak Prescott, who I've always given credit to as a really good quarterback in the NFL when he's healthy, CeeDee Lamb, Pickens, Ferguson, they have a really good passing attack. And our secondary is going to be tested. And I truly believe that's going to be the key matchup of this game. They're the Cowboys passing attack against our secondary. That's going to might be even be the deciding factor in who wins this game. Um. So yeah, what do you got? Bro?
Well, I know that wide receiver 2 was a priority for Dallas, especially with them needing another weapon. We got that, and we took care of somebody in the trenches. So, yay, balance restored. The situation I have with the offense, no doubt in my mind, I know Dak, when healthy, he plays very well against the Eagles. Got your boy
Mm-hmm.
CeeDee Lamb as well, and got his combatant, George Pickens. So you have two solid receivers on the outside. Jake Ferguson coming back off injury, see how he does. Luke Schoonmaker's in concussion protocol, so it just depends when he'll be able to start. If that's not the case, you might see Hunter Lukey take some snaps at tight end. Who knows? Not going to give up the game plan. We did re-sign Rivaldo Fairweather, who's on the practice squad as well. He could be an elevational guy up there as well. Saw some pretty good things from him in the preseason. My biggest concern is running back. I know Javonte Williams was crowned as running back 1. Then you have Miles Sanders. You have Jadon Blue, who's recovering from an ankle injury. And then Phil Maffa's on the IR. My biggest thing is, why was Javonte Williams so much of a high praise for being RB1? And I don't think that's for the long term, where I'm going to say this now. You have 4 first round draft picks. Trade for RB1. I have some running backs out there who's already on contract that if they have a bad year or so, ship one of those picks over for RB1. I have 3 in mind. The situation I have with the running back situation, if Javonte Williams is that guy, then no doubt in my mind, Miles Sanders is going to get some tick as well to go up against the Eagles, his former team. But I'm looking for how the line is going to hold up, especially with Jalen Carter, Jordan Davis, Jalix Hunt, Nolan Smith, and those guys. Even Jahai Campbell as well, because I know he can pass rush as well. The Tyler Booker wants to smoke. I get that. Tyler Smith too. Cooper Beebe as well. Terrence Steele wants to show the reason why they paid him, because taking a shot at him and Diggs was uncalled for to Jerry. Now, the left tackle spot, Nate Thomas, he stepped up in the preseason to play that spot, so I believe he gets the nod to be there week 1. The only thing that I can see with Nate Thomas there, he's got to be very smart. He's got to protect Dak on that side to a strong T. If you need to give extra cover there as well, do that as well. But Tyler Guyton, before he got hurt, I saw him take that big step that everybody wanted him to take. So when he gets back, I think that's going to really help out the O-line. But I have faith that Dak and the receiving core can get us where we need to go. But also the line being able to create an established run game where you can find a common balance there. No doubt in my mind, I understand the Eagles are the reigning champs and their defense was stout. But they've had some injuries on that defense and not the same. They don't have a CJ Gardner-Johnson. And that, I feel, was a sound leader for the defense as well, even for the short time he was there. But at the same time, you're going to have some new faces there while having some familiar faces. And vice versa for us, having some familiar faces as well as some new faces. So overall, it's going to be a common combatant balance to it's going to be like a big old chessboard. So we make a move, you try to counter that move, you try to make a move, we try to counter that move. So it's the best way to put it is that if Dallas controls the time of possession and keep that other side of the ball off the field, they have a chance to shock the world.
Okay. All right. So let me ask you this before we wrap up. Who do you give the offensive advantage to? Who do you give the defensive advantage to? And who do you give special teams advantage to in this game, in this matchup?
So you mean like as the line, receiver, and
Yeah.
offense as a whole?
Who wins offense? Who wins defense? Who wins special teams?
Man, that's a good question. If I'm looking at it like broken down, quarterback I got Dak, running back I'll give to the Eagles, receiving core I'll give to Dallas, O-line I'll give it to the Eagles. Defensive line, I give that to the Eagles. Linebacker room, I give that to Dallas. Secondary is up in the air. And special teams, I'll give that to Dallas.
Yes. Yes. You didn't. This whole episode, you didn't mention Turpin. Turpin could be a difference maker. So we will see. Yeah, we will see. Maybe he's that secret weapon nobody's talking about yet. I did. You mentioned it last week, so maybe
all I can tell you is that the preseason was very vanilla. So this will be for the whole world to see what's under full display. And yeah, it's just kind of back and forth. It's playing chess, not checkers. And you basically don't want to give the hand to your opposition and whatnot. So yeah, it's going to be a fun matchup and so on. So yeah.
Yeah, and speaking of that, because you actually brought up a good point, our starters didn't play at all in the preseason, so hopefully they can knock off the rust. Did your starters play in the preseason?
Nah, I think most of the guys who played were those who were trying to make the team.
Right, same for us. So hopefully, for the entertainment's sake, hopefully there's no rust to start the game.
Hey, it's week one. Like that happens. Everybody's gonna be hype for the atmosphere and so on. And while some are healing from the trade, while others are excited to get back on the field. So yeah, it's gonna have that little shaky stuff. I think things will start kicking around the tail end of the first into the second quarter.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to close with my prediction for the game. Final score. Okay. Tough. If everything I just said is tough, because I do believe the Eagles will win this football game. I do believe that. I think the morale of the Cowboys can either go two ways, and we will find out early. Either they're going to be invigorated and inspired after the Micah Parsons trade, or is it going to be a complete downer, and they're not going to have the same energy going into the game. We will see. We will see very early in that game. But with that said, though, I do have the Eagles winning. The final score is going to be 28-24. I think it's going to be close. I think it's going to be a close one. It's going to come down to the fourth quarter. And I do think the Eagles defense will make the stop necessary to win this football game. Just off the top of my head, I think the player of the game is going to be Jalen Hurts. So, what you got, Earl?
All right. Yeah. Just thinking about the situation with Micah, and it actually deals with the trade itself. I think Kenny Clark gives us a better chance to win this game than Micah. Where depending on the run game as a whole, we need somebody to be able to apply the pressure, moving the lineman back. I believe Kenny Clark can do that, but it also helps Mozzie and it helps Osa. Now, if this game turns out to be an air show, I give that to Dallas as a whole. But if it's more of a run base, I got to see what this defense for Dallas is really about. especially with their morale, but also them being able to go in this game and play. If you mad, unleash it all on the Eagles. Do whatever you need to get your mind right for this game. I have Dallas, and this is what really hurts me the most, is that I never want to predict my team to lose.
Yeah, I get it.
I wanna see Dallas win this game, but it'll be a close one. I believe they'll win by 3. But I also know that they could lose a close one. Your prediction score is kind of close to where mine is. But mine is 24-21, where it caps off on a game-winning field goal from either kicker. So I have Dallas losing this game, but on the flip side, if Dallas win, they'll win by a field goal. So 24-21.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. I mean, Brandon Aubrey is, at this point right now, might be the best kicker in the league. I really don't think there's a better kicker in the league right now.
He's
So,
definitely up there, though.
yeah, he's definitely up there. He's definitely up there. Jake Elliott is good too. Don't get me wrong.
Oh, yeah,
But
100%.
Aubrey got that young leg. He got the young leg, so might hit
Hey,
a 70 sometime this season.
gifted, blessed.
Yeah, yeah. All right. So with that said, this one a little longer than I thought it was going to be,
Yeah,
but this is
yeah,
fun
sorry
though.
about that.
I like
Yeah.
this. I like this. Shout out Lucas for giving us this idea. Uh,
Oh, yeah.
yeah, we're definitely going to
Yeah, I
keep doing
appreciate
this.
being on the episode with you, Maurice. I know we've kind of done it with like a round table, but
Mhm.
doing the one-on-one is definitely refreshing.
Yeah, this is fun. This is fun. All right, everyone. Thank you for listening or watching this episode on YouTube, Philly Cooking with Maurice. This is fun. We'll be back at it shortly enough. Thank you all for watching. Peace.